Ready to protect your Apple Watch? Let's check this case out. I really like my Apple Watch Series 7. The always-on screen, very cool. The fact that it's waterproof, also very cool. But it's still at risk of getting damaged. As you can see, it's just sitting there. And yeah, they have a heavy-duty glass on the front and everything, but I will walk past and occasionally accidentally run my wrist along the side of a wall or something, and you immediately then look down and you look at your watch and you're like, oh no. Now, fortunately, I haven't had an incident yet, but I feel like it's kind of just a matter of time. Enter this. This is the Catalyst Total Protection Case for the Apple Watch Series 7, and it's kind of a doozy. You can see when I open up the box that it is a full, complete coverage case. Let's open it up and I'll actually show you what it looks like, and then we're going to put it on and we're going to test it. So I have it here. You can see it looks like there's already an Apple Watch in there because of their little black spacer piece of plastic, but there's not. So let's get this thing taken apart. It takes a little bit of practice to be comfortable doing all of these push gestures and stuff. There's also a notch on the side if you want to put something in and turn it to open that. If you do that, make sure it's something that's not going to damage the plastic. So we have the case and the strap and everything. Then we have the piece that goes on the back, and you'll notice there's a hole on it. We'll get back to that. And then there's this whole silicone piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull their fake Apple Watch out, and then I'm going to take mine, and I have to take my band off, and that's easily done by pushing the buttons on the back and sliding out whatever it is you have as your strap. And so now I just have the fundamental core heart of the Apple Watch Series 7, this piece. So now it's pretty easy. I'm going to put this in the silicone, and I'm going to give you a close-up in a second of what's going on. But you basically line up their silicone slots on the outer part, and you want to line those up so that they go in the strap slots. And when you get that all done, it's nice and neat, ready to roll. And then again, like I said, I'll show you this again in a close-up, but you put that down, I put this on, I line everything up, and then it's just a matter of enthusiastic push, and there it is. So yes, the watch is still working, it's still functional. You can see that I can do things like get to Siri, and perhaps just as importantly, the back is also accessible, so I can do things like still charge it without having to take it out of this. Now, let me switch around so you can get a close-up of me putting it in the case again. First off, let's get rid of the band on the Apple Watch. So that's easily done by pushing on the little slot, and then it comes out. So now we have just the watch, and we'll put the band out of the way. Now we have the Catalyst case, and we need to open it up. And it's going to look a little anxiety provoking, but you basically just push and give it a good push, and it comes apart. So now we have the case, and I'll just put this stuff here, and you can see this silicone and how it goes around their mock case. But notice especially there's that little slot here, and that is intended to go in where a band would otherwise connect. So we need to line up the buttons, obviously, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the silicone around my watch. And the problem here, as you can see with it sticking out, is I haven't lined up the slot. So you can maneuver around a little bit, and when you get the slot lined up, you get a really nice connection, and it's very simple and straightforward all around. So now we're ready for the next step, which is to line everything up, put this in, and if it doesn't fit evenly into this, and it doesn't fit onto the actual case, then you probably need to redo your silicone. So assuming that all works nice and evenly, then you just put the back on, give it a nice push all around the 4 sides. It should be pretty well sealed. And there we go, it's done. And I can even punch in my code. I'm not going to, because you don't need to know my code. But there it is, there's my watch in the Catalyst band and all ready to go. So we're ready to go. Now, let's give it a test. So the watch is already waterproof, so it's not a big deal that I can put it in water. But I want to show you something. When I drop it in water, well, I guess it's not quite deep enough to demonstrate it, but it will actually float, which is actually really beneficial. If you're swimming and your watch comes off or something, then yes, it can sink to the bottom and still be in good shape. This is waterproof to 100 meters or 330 feet, but you still have to find it, right? So having it actually be able to float is pretty sweet. Now, let me tell you a little bit about it now that we've gone through that whole demo. So, as I said, it's waterproof to 100 meters or 330 feet. It is a tough polycarbonate. It's not just plastic. And it exceeds mil standard 810G for shock. And so you can have this thing fall out, while you're standing. If the whole thing just falls off your wrist, I don't know why they would do that, but if it does and then hits concrete even, then your watch is fully protected, which is great. It is 2x more waterproof than the watch in terms of rating and tests. And very obviously, if I'm walking past a wall and I run it, literally just like scrape it along a wall or something, then the case is going to take that damage, if there is any, not the watch, which is huge. And I do want to point out that when you have it on your wrist, that all of the sensors are still fully functional, and it has a lot of different notches, as you can see, so you should be able to get it to be just the right tightness. And it does become a bit of a bigger watch. It is, I guess, a little bit more heavy and rugged, but on the other hand, if you're someone doing outdoor adventure sports or diving or just going surfing or something, this is going to give you so much more protection than just having your Apple Watch by itself. And all the sensors still work, and as I showed, and I will show again, that you can still charge it. So when I put the charger on there, it's still charging the watch because the entire back of the watch is accessible. And as you can see in this close-up, that silicone seal goes all the way around that charged base. So super important. I really like it. I wish they had it in lots of different colors. I think that's coming because on the website it only says black, but on the case it shows that there are different color options, although those might be different straps. Be that as it may, there's a little bit more color I think they can add here, and I'm sure they will. But this is a really great solution if you love your Apple Watch and you really wish it was just a little bit more rugged and tough. Well, here's your solution. Now, turns out that they also have a solution for AirPods. And the unfortunate reality is they sent me an AirPods case for kind of AirPods that we don't actually have here in the studio. So at best, what I can do is I can demonstrate how it works, which is pretty cool. It is, again, that total protection. So this is the Catalyst Total Protection AirPods 3rd generation case. And you can see you put the AirPods in it, you close it, you clamp it, and now it is absolutely sealed and safe. And there is still a rubber unit you can pull off the bottom so you can still access it to charge. I would guess it's probably not going to do wireless charging, but it might. There is a space in the back, and there is a space on the front so you can see the light, the little LED on the actual AirPods case. This itself is IP68 certified, which means it is also fully waterproof and it floats, notice. I don't know if it would float with AirPods in it. I don't have those size AirPods. And then the only other thing worth noting is that it does come with a really nice carabiner. So if you're looking for this tough, rugged protection for your Apple devices, Catalyst has you covered. They got a ton of phone cases. They have this same style of watch protection for non-Series 7. So if you have a Series 6 or something earlier, they have that covered too. They're not exactly the same, which is a bit of a surprise, but I guess the screen's a bit bigger on the 7 too. So, you know, you want to get one that matches the series you have, but they have really nice, elegant solutions. I really like them. So what we need to talk about is the price of these. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. Super easy. Click or tap on that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you find out about my latest videos, and we're connected. Huzzah! Let the party begin. And speaking of parties, this is the Catalyst Total Protection Case for the Apple Watch Series 7, and it's $74.99 at catalystcase.com. And you might be thinking, that's a little spendy, but how much is it going to cost you to fix a damaged Apple Watch? So there's that to think about. And then this is the slightly less rigorously tested Catalyst Total Protection Case for the AirPods 3rd generation. And this one is $49.99 at catalystcase.com. Again, if you're going diving, if you're surfing, if you don't want to leave your stuff sitting on the beach towel while you're actually just out playing in the water, all of these things are fantastic and definitely worth checking out. That's all I got. I'm going to put this watch back on because it doesn't do much good sitting on the table. And I really like the band. It's really easy to work with, and you can really, there's so many different options in terms of where you actually put the clasp in that you can really get it to be the perfect tightness for your wrist. So that's all I got. Let me check the time. Yep, still working. So I'll catch you in my next video.